From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicky Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training Podcast. I'm going to be one of the hosts for this episode. My name is not Vicky. Who else is hosting?
Oh my God. I'm Vicky.
You are.
I'm Alan.
And Alan's here. Yay!
You know who else is here?
Fake
Big Jeremy.
Oh God. Poor Jeremy. Jeremy's sick.
Jeremy had the flu, so we waited, and then he got rid of the flu, and then he decided to go to strep throat. So since Jeremy can't make it, we're going to do this anyway, and fake Jeremy is going to take over. And what will this do? Jeremy will never miss a podcast again. Anyway, Alan, since you were the only one who attended this race, besides fake Jeremy, obviously,
Indeed.
But since you were personally there, and fake Jeremy was just there in spirit, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the Halloween Hoopty Fest. Heck
Woo-hoo.
yeah. Up in Loudon, New Hampshire. Looking back at the weekend and kind of as I reflected throughout the weekend, it was kind of one of those things like, wow, the weather's so nice. Like, it's just a win. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter what else happens. Weather was so nice, it was just a win. So.
Yeah, but probably the best weather you're ever going to hope for the end of October in New Hampshire. So
yeah, we peaked.
We were quite jealous.
But it was super awesome. It was the usual fun fracas as always. We got there on Thursday. Car arrived Thursday safely. We arrived safely. The rental RVs were there safely. So that was all super smooth.
Who was there for your team?
So for my team, I had my dad racing. I had
Nice.
my brother. I had my son and myself. So it was four of us. So that was our plan. And it was 50-50 on whether or not we were going to have a garage or not. However, Bright Ideas Racing came through in the clutch and hooked us up with the other half of their garage.
Really?
So that was super awesome. Yes, right across from the gas pumps. So it was like right on target. So it was great. So that worked out super awesome. I did start the race car at about 9:00 on Thursday night. Right as the security guy was rolling his Toyota Tundra in to finish dealing with some other people that it was thoroughly pissed off with.
Not happy.
So thankfully, he was not. No. I took a bunch of it. Thankfully, Kate was able to hear all of it, but she wasn't. She was in the camper, but she can hear. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't have to see it, but she heard it.
Right.
And it was great. I literally started it. I idled it, but it's a race car. It's a Mustang. You can't hold back the horsepower. So at cold idle, it just barely idled over 150 feet. And then as I turned it to stop right where I shut it off, he shut off his truck at the same time. And then he turned on the upsetedness, and it was super awesome. You ever want to see that guy? Oh, it was super. Oh, it was just great. F-bombs, everything. There wasn't I was literally hands up, hey, no. I was just moving over here. It was not really. He was less than receptive to my pleas.
Right.
But
Where's that New England hospitality?
oh my God, there's a thing with reserving some certain spots with electric that's somewhat slightly new. Some people were parked in somebody else's spot allegedly, and then they went out to eat for a while, and the other people came and they wanted to get in the spot. And then this guy was spending hours looking for these people who were out having a great dinner on a beautiful Thursday, and came back and was definitely upset with them.
Wow.
And I was right there. And I was running my car, and I was completely. Yeah, it was great. It was a great start to the weekend. I was like, wow, maybe this is the answer, because he offered to tow it right out. You know what I'm
sure
saying? Right off the property.
he was generous that way.
Yeah, no, he was like, this will never race here ever. I'll tow it off the property. I don't remember exactly all this. He's so gracious. You know what I'm saying? It was like 3 minutes under the pillow, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But they were just like turds. So that started the weekend. So I was like, maybe that's the sign. It's not going to get towed off track.
Well,
Wow.
And lo,
if
yeah,
if
Yeah.
we may need to change it from a cow livery to a some type of blanking on the right word here. This was such a great joke, but anyway, like an army type livery, or where it's got the camouflage, and he won't be able to see it to tow it.
that's a possibility. I like it.
Maybe.
Wow.
So we brought the car out of hibernation, if you will, from Connecticut, the fabulous representation of Thompson, and we found it was wrong. Dun, 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 dun. It was the $15 in-tank pump that was no longer on the team. It was no longer getting low pressure fuel up to the pressure pump to give us the go.
It had one job. Job.
So the story was, ain't got no gas in it.
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
So I fixed what was broken then,
Mm-hmm.
and I broke more things, and I left some things unfixed from there as well. So it was kind of like a triple threat, like those people that are really good at something, but not. So the fuel tank itself didn't really seal up as nice as it could have getting to the track. I thought we had some tank vent issues like we had in the past, and we tried some glue things, but it was really just the fuel pump fitting, the little, 3-inch ring that locks in and holds the pump tight and keeps the gas in. I didn't get that so nice until late on Sunday.
Yeah, we heard something was going on with your gas.
Can I go back in time?
Yeah, what's up?
You ready? Was this the same issue you had in Thompson?
When you say same issue, in Thompson, the problem was it wasn't getting gas. It wasn't running. It was just like they were very generous to let me pass tech with it. The kill switch killing the car. It was very generous.
But
I think he just knew it wasn't going to run anyway, so it wasn't like I ain't.
But was it the same problem you had there, or was it a different problem?
In Thompson, it was just a running problem. And it was just got awful hot, and it was survival. So that's a whole thing there. But no, so the problem was the in-tank pump. Once I put the in-tank pump in, I beat out the bottom of the tank that was dented. And I think that may have not allowed the pump to tighten up as much, or I don't even know.
Okay.
But late on Sunday, we did some reconditioning to the closing fixtures of the tank. So in theory, it would seal, and there's good stories of that too. So we got there on Thursday. Everything got good, and we went for practice. And we got myself and my brother and my son out there for practice, and the car ran great. So everything was super duper, 2 thumbs up. Plan for Friday night was to just, set tire pressures and go. And then I filled it up, Friday night, like you're supposed to ahead of time, when the track's cold, and it started leaking gas. So I spent Friday night, dropping the tank. Because that's what you do. You drain all the gas back out, the high test that you just poured in, all of it. Yeah, you just siphon it all out. You take it right all back out because, you've done this before, like a couple, 2-3 times already. So you just take the tank all the way out, you drain it all out, you hope and pray, and you use some of that great duct sealant and hope that it's going to fix that vent that never was the problem. It did fix the vent, but the vent wasn't the problem. The problem was the fuel pump, that big metal ring, the 3-inch ring with the seal that was no longer sealing.
No.
Yeah. So we spent some time doing that Friday night, and then I thought I fixed it, and I hoped and prayed on that, and I slept so good that night. And I was like, man, I really did a good job. I'm doing a good job. Yeah. And then we went to fill it up Saturday morning, and it leaked gas.
Oh no.
So
it's something about New Hampshire that we have problems with gas leaks.
Yeah. So you'll never guess what we did then. So I drained the gas out again.
Did you change the gas tank lid, the cap? Because
I didn't. I wanted to, I was hoping if it leaked out of there, I'd be fine, because that was the only spot it wasn't leaking from. So I was kind of nervous. The rest
so you
of the
narrowed
stuff
it down. You eliminated one.
So I did think of that memory of, geez, if I'd only changed that gas cap that one time, I could have raced the whole weekend. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, so we drained the gas tank Saturday morning. People are out there racing, and I'm just like, hey, this is just a great time to drain gas in the garage that we got. So this is super awesome. And then we put back together. So at this point, it's getting close to noon, and I'm like, geez, somebody really should go out there. And I look at my drivers, and yes, sir.
But the weather was nice.
It was so nice. It was so nice.
It was gorgeous.
I'm telling you, by Friday afternoon, I was like, I'm good for the weekend. Like I'm good. It's not that I set my bar low. I was like, this is really nice. It's gorgeous out here. If the car runs, it doesn't run, I'm good. So I didn't want to necessarily go out first. I kind of wanted Ben to start. He was a little nervous about it. He wanted me to go out first. And I was like, it's fine. Just go. Just race it. What could happen? So we get suited up. He gets out there. He's a little nervous. He gets out, turns maybe like 3 laps. Now at this point, it's like 12:30. My
It's
beautiful
lunchtime.
bride. My beautiful bride has some awesome chili with sour cream and cheese and chips and like all the homemade salsa, all the good stuff that I was like, God, I really could just send my son out there for an hour and a half, and sit down and enjoy some food.
I'm surprised he
Um,
left the food for anybody. No,
Well,
I've,
yeah, he
I've
had a-
seen
he had a
that
snack.
boy eat.
He said he had a snack, but then he got out there and he was so excited and maybe a little nervous, and then it was a yellow flag, and then someone passed him under yellow because they weren't paying as much attention to the flag as he was. And then they break short, and then he thought maybe he hit them. I really don't think there was any contact. That car's pretty sturdy. Nothing really falls off. Anyway, I don't think he touched. So he comes in, he self-reports. All right, great. What was the number of the other car? Oh, he definitely had the number of the other car. Okay, fine, whatever. Moving on. All right, great, thank you. He sends him out. I'm like, hey, buddy, just go out there and, just go easy. You're doing great. Give yourself some room and have a good time. Bam, out he goes. Super awesome. Now it's like 12:15. Man, if I could really get back to that chili over there, it'd be great. So he gets out there, and there's, I don't know if there's like nature or nurture. There's stuff like that. But then here it is at turn 1, and someone doesn't really follow the outside line. They take the inside line, but with the outside line speed. And just like his father and his younger brother had issues at turn 1, and he got some grass on that right front tire a little bit.
We have pictures.
So he came in. Oh, really? Oh, good. So he came in for the black flag, and I was like, hey, buddy.
That's 2, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little pissed that
You're interrupting my chili
on track because I'm getting hungry now, and we all know you don't want to see me when I'm hangry. It's not. I don't want to see me when I'm hangry either. So I'm trying to get back to my food. I'm like, I'd really be happy if you just stayed on the track and you did not come off the track. Just like, don't come off the track. Like, stay on the track and stay on the track. And he did. He did a great job. Super awesome turn laps, and he was doing great. And he was about 10 minutes till end of his stint, and then he let a car go by. Like he's following the concept of, listen, someone comes up behind you, bam, you let him go. So he pulled over a little bit somewhere toward the back S's, not 100% sure. And that, not naming any cars or anything, but the black Honda spun right in front of him, and he hit him.
Oh, no.
Listen, there's a lot of horsepower in that Mustang. You can't hold that thing back. Even with good racing brakes and a talented driver, we don't have either of those. But even if you did have those, you probably couldn't have stopped hitting this person.
So,
right.
So let me check here. If I count and I hold up my fingers, right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
I get 3. Now, I just want to make sure that House Danvers does not think when I hold up my 3, that means W for like winning or something. Okay. Not winning.
He's a great kid. I love, everybody needs lots of kids. Everybody does. They're great kids. So at this point, he says, Dad, I hit something. I'm not 100% sure. Our comms were working. It was a beautiful sunny day, and our comms were working.
And you had chili. And you had chili.
We had chili, yes. And I did have some of the chili, and it was good. And half the bumper mounts were still working when he came off track. It was the saddest look. I wish I should got a picture of it. It was, just like the bumper just hanging, just like one side on the car, one side just dragging.
Like a drawbridge?
Nice parallel.
Like
just like dropped. Like if there were 2 people holding a piece of wood and one person dropped it. Like that's kind of what happened. So he comes off track, and with our garage by the gas pumps, as you come off track, it's either just straight and a little right into the judge's chambers, or a hard left to go check out the car. He was very nervous. He wanted to inspect the car, and I was not happy with that, but we did. We drove it over toward the gas pumps. I wouldn't even let him get to the gas pumps. I'm like, shut it off, take a deep breath. I was laughing then too. So then we just took like the 2 bolts off to take the metal bumper and just put it in the garage that Glenn was so nice to lend us. Thank you, sir. And then I had him roll nice and slow and safe over to the judges. Now, at that point, thankfully, this gracious black Honda had come in and said, listen, there's that Mustang out there that's so fast. That's a really fast car. And that's what they said first.
That's what they said.
And then they said that first, yeah. Someone must have it on video, I'm sure, but it got erased. So then they were like, we spun right in front of that guy, and he had no chance but to hit us.
Oh, no.
Mhm.
So I went. At this point, I was in the judge's chambers again for
Yeah.
the first time.
Who were the
Actually,
judges?
second.
Just so they get a shout out.
We had. Oh no, he got me now. We had Mr. Rude.
Eric.
Yeah, and
Was it Aaron there?
Aaron, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm spacing out now.
It's
So
okay.
at this point,
People know
they
you
come
space
in.
out. It's normal.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, they know me. So the other car had come in. The judges figured it out, and as shocked as I was, gobsmacked, you might even say, the wonderful Mr. Wu comes over and says, the other car came in and said it was really totally their fault. So, let's go fix your car and have a great day. And sorry you're having such a crappy day. We're like, okay, bye, thanks. And we just, slowly, casually drove our car out of there.
Where was
At
he
that
the
point-
other 3 times that you hit things or went off track?
Right.
Fine. It's fine.
Okay.
So at that point, I was like, listen, this is check. We won. Like, I'm good. The car drove. We had a incident. We had some off track. We had some on track. It's been great. Everyone.
So
it's awesome.
So I know you haven't been on a podcast in a while,
Yes.
but you got to remember, part of this podcast was to get people started,
Yes.
or to help people get better. And taking all the black flags for yourself is not sharing with your friends.
I know.
Sharing is caring.
It doesn't feel as good as it seems like it should.
It doesn't feel like it should. This is the other side of good. It's the red guy, not the white guy.
Yes, that's not good.
Yeah,
not good.
Mm.
But again, throughout all this,
luckily that was the
conversation.
last black flag of the weekend.
Yeah, all day Saturday. That was the last one because the car never went on track again Saturday. So we were clean all the rest of the day.
So how many laps on Saturday?
I don't know. Whatever my kid did.
18.
Okay. And I did yell at him after the third time when he wrecked it. I was like, listen, you little punk. If you're gonna try to get the fastest lap by wrecking the car, it's not really gonna work.
You already know that game.
If you've seen some of my other work, okay, my portfolio, if you will.
This is in my repertoire.
This is probably you're right in the wheelhouse, right in the sweet spot there.
It's right up there with taking the only dry stint of the weekend and then saying, "Oh, that was the fastest lap." Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm good. And Pat's like, about like 45 minutes later, Dad, I want to take checkers. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. You're gonna have to fix that car you broke because it was pretty well fixed.
3 times.
Yeah.
Hey,
so,
are
what do you got?
you a math teacher and by trade? Is that kind of?
I've been trained in teaching math. Yes.
So if somebody were to do 18 laps,
18 laps,
and get 3 black flags, how many laps does it take to get 1 black flag? I mean,
that's a good question.
On average, if you were to do the math,
if you divide it out evenly,
yeah,
seems like there'd be a way to figure that out. I don't really have any ideas on that one.
So if any of our listeners can figure out this higher level math,
please call in.
GarageGearsAndTraining@gmail.com.
Oh, jeez. So, Alan, what were you doing to the car after this accident? What needed to get done?
Well, everything. No, it wasn't that terrible. It was holding its fluids, right? It didn't leak coolant. It didn't leak oil. And then we knew it wasn't leaking gas.
Did we know that?
Well, at the time it wasn't. So it doesn't.
Maybe.
They didn't see it. They didn't see it. Didn't happen. So
okay.
See that? So so then we just rallied. Like my brother stepped in, Dave, and was kicking butt, and my kid was in there, Bennett was kicking butt as well. We took it outside because sometimes you need to change the scenery, right?
Right.
So we took the Mustang into the garage. We talked a little bit there. We did a little looking, poking, prodding up underneath the ram, checked everything, looked great. We rolled it back out to the RV area. We saddled her up to the Nissan Frontier there and just gave her a couple little pulls to just try to straighten her out. And so then we put her back in the garage again and we fixed up the bumper back again. Thankfully, we still had the metal bumper. And we made some bolts work and adjusted some things. So that was super nice. Thankfully, my brother doing some super awesome scouting. Thanks, Dave, for not breaking the car too bad this weekend. He found the bumper on track. He sent me a picture of it in location.
Mhm.
I was able to even get an action shot of it right as the Volkswagen was going by. So I knew it was on track, and I asked the track workers after the track went cold, hey, can I go get that? They're like, no freaking way, pal. They called about you. No, he didn't say that. He said when they sweep the track for all the other broken, crappy car parts, it might be there. I was like, hey, you're the best. So sure enough, he drove it right to my garage bay. It was like valet treatment.
Wow.
It was amazing. Yeah. So we were able to put that bumper cover right back on the Mustang. And
did you use an extra zip tie this time, or did you go with the standard number of zip ties?
It took a couple stitches. It took the regular number, the usual number.
Okay, usual. Okay.
The usual number, yeah. And then we put a couple other ones in just to be careful, because there's always safety. Safety is really important.
Oh, absolutely. You wouldn't want to leave it out on track or anything.
No, not again. So, well, you don't know if you're getting it back the second time. Isn't that thing
Exactly.
like
You'd have to like stay late and stuff.
Or, I don't know.
So, while the Mustang was sowing its oats and taking views of the stable and getting to run out in the fields outside of New Hampshire Motor Sports Park, how was El Jeffe going on Saturday?
El Jeffe was ripping. As far as I know, she was just turning laps, and I think I saw her once or twice the gas pumps filling up. Not 100% sure. I definitely was. Our fuel strategy for the weekend was slightly different. We went in with one of my team members just saying, hey, look, why don't we just fill up the gas pumps all weekend? We technically didn't have 3 full suits to have us all be in safety suits to fuel. And, I'm old and a wimp, so I didn't want to lift the fuel. But my kid was like, hey, let's just do it with the gas pumps. All right, great. Turns out the gas pumps weren't necessarily scheduled to open the whole weekend. I don't know. I didn't talk to the guy running the schedule, but it was sometimes open, sometimes not. Definitely stress level 100%, but that's fine.
Wow.
It was his normal. We love this. So Saturday night, we get the car buttoned back up, man. She's looking good. I think we did a roll around the pitch just to threaten people with all the horsepower we possess.
Didn't you learn your lesson on Thursday night on about doing this?
Well, no, I did it during daylight before. Yeah, I don't learn lessons.
Oh, okay.
No, but yeah. So, because we don't want to go too hard on Saturday, because people then we know what kind of real race car this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
So we went a little easier. You
gave him a little bit of a head start, right?
I just I just hate to really rub it in. So then we go to fuel it up Saturday night. You get ready for Sunday morning, starting early Sunday, right? I totally didn't have the schedule right. I did. I had in my head, I had it like starting at 10 and then going to whatever, blah, blah. It started at 9.
What times it get dark in New Hampshire in October?
I don't even know. Yeah, right. And the gas is leaking.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
Well, you know how to fix that already.
Yes. And it was funny because I was joking with my brother. I was like, hey, this is great. You never get to see me work on cars. And now you get to, you're here the whole time. This is awesome, So, so I got to drain the gas out of the gas tank, all of the gas out of the gas tank.
Well, you should be getting good at it by now.
I'm not trying to brag, but I'm getting better. So we're getting all the gas is coming out of the tank again. And my brother's like, hey, why do we have to take it all out? It's just the top. Can't we just take some of it out? I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm laying under this and it's full of gas and there's big holes. And I don't want to, nope.
He's noping.
Nope, not going to do it. Yeah, so we ended up draining it all back down again, and then we tried to recondition the way the fuel pump clamps in with the hoses. As you lift it back up, there's some movement in that. So each time we're putting back in, it's not always necessarily getting in there tight, whatever, we're not really sure. And so we think it's okay. So we make the decision, Dave and I, like, all right, let's put 10 gallons in. It's a 15-gallon tank. We'll only run 10, so that bump will be okay, no problem. So we decided, well, whatever's in there plus 8 will be good, right? We have no idea what's in there. All right, fine. So, all right. So at that point, the car's ready, right?
Oh, easily. It sounds so prepped.
Set.
I mean, it's like
set, right?
F1.
So like, all right. Yeah, definitely. So we're like, all right, we'll send the first driver out. I'll go out first thing in the morning.
Right.
And somebody should give that guy the memo, because if you drive a car for like a half hour or an hour, there's less gas in the tank than when you start.
Somebody should have told you.
Does not go up.
They should have told. And then, so part of that is maybe if you had beans, you don't have to give it all the beans right away. You could wait.
I mean, you gave them all of Saturday. How much more did they need?
Pretty much, yeah. So I was so happy that by 9:35, I had expressed so much horsepower all over that track, enough they could see it dripping out of my car. Wow. I mean, like how flattering is that when they call you and you're like, I can see you have so much power. We need to talk. So I spoke to Mr. Rude and I said, Eric, listen, you're the best. All right. I know the rule. I know I'm driving a terrible car. All right. Yeah. I know that you know that I have a terrible car.
Yep.
And this car is terrible.
Yeah.
And it's leaking gas. And if you see me leaking gas just one little bit, I'm done for the weekend. I said, I thank you. I appreciate that. I'll try to turn down the horsepower and see if we can fix it. So the plan from there was we rolled it back to the garage stables, and we just drained some gas out. Since I had to look up the manual this time, I wasn't trying to get the gas out. I'm just kidding. I remember. So this time we did the slow drain because we have many options, right? You don't have to, like I don't know if all the manuals have it, but there's several different ways to get all the gas out of this tank.
Right.
I can show you. So
besides the normal, just drive the car. There's more than that.
Yeah, there's a lot more than that.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Just talking about that.
I know. I'm here. I'm trying to make you sound, super intelligent. So
Oh, thank you. No one ever does that. So we did the slow drain.
I just said I was trying.
Yeah. We just disconnect the fuel pump, and then just to disconnect the inlet to the pressure pump, which is just lets it drain out of the tank. And you put a bucket under it with a funnel. We're safe here. We're not heathens. And I'm like, Dave, check the time, set a 30-minute timer so we can see what's going on. He's like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm going to forget that I'm draining gas over here. And someone's going to want to check that before it drains all over the garage that Glenn was so nice to lend me.
Yeah.
And after 30 minutes, we got about 2 gallons out.
Wow.
I was like, that is the perfect slow drain. Thank you. And again, I'm realizing by 9:35 on a beautiful Sunday morning, I have already had such a great time, showing these people what kind of power I really have. You know what I'm saying? And I've given them enough of a head start that I can come out there and really, do the thing and it won't be a problem. So,
wow.
So we sent my dad out and he was doing good, I guess. They called him in after about half an hour or so.
Oh no, how come?
They said he looked a little scared.
Was he? That's a scary
he didn't
track.
Tell me he was scared, but at that point, again, I was in with the judges and I forget the female judge. She was awesome. And she was just kind of like looking at me and she's like, yeah, they're just worried about him. I'm like, they're worried about, I'm like, all right, well, it's my dad. And
if you're worried, I'm worried.
Yeah. He's not going to be going out again. All right. So we're very sorry. And we'll put someone else out there and he won't be on the track again. I'm sorry. Because apparently he did miss a couple of black flags.
Right.
Playing,
like 4.
I'm not really good with numbers, so you'll have to check with somebody else.
Was he terrified?
I don't know. I think he was a little shell shocked. I think HVEs probably be a great Christmas gift.
You know what? I got to tell you though, that track is pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy, yeah. Especially when I have a lot of horsepower in a Mustang. You know what I'm saying? All that power.
Can we go back just a moment?
Yes. Yep.
So it seems like your gas pump. Fuel pump is really slow.
My gas pump is slow?
Because you said it took 30 minutes to do a gallon, right?
No. Okay, so this is because the pump is not on. The fuel pump was not on.
So it was just...
There's a pump in the tank that goes me, and apparently when you have the filler neck out and you activate it, it shoots right out the filler neck right across to those guys next to us. And it almost hits Dave. Sorry, Dave. So that was just a total like siphon gravity feed of like crappy. Yeah. So you're right. There's a big issue there, but that's because the pump wasn't turned on. There was no electricity. There was nothing.
Okay.
So yes, I was being safe.
No.
And again, this was 9:35, and I was like,
lie to me.
Hey, I've already shown them what's up out there. It's gorgeous Sunday morning, and I'm just gonna. We already won again. Like we already won, and we'll just send somebody else out in the car. So we sent my dad out. He did great for 30 minutes. Thankfully, car came back looking great. We drove it over the gas pumps. We fueled it up as per plan. We may or may not have someone at the gas pumps trying to occupy the gas pump guy as long as possible with whatever means necessary.
To keep it open?
Yes. Yeah, I'll just buy some gas right now. Yes, I'll have a gallon over here and a gallon over there. This pocket needs some. Anyway, so we got my brother out. Did super awesome. He was rocking. We did have an early morning meeting on Sunday. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say there was a
meeting. It was very
come
early.
to Jesus meeting.
I didn't. Yes.
Yeah. So what? Tell us about that.
But someone else did. Well, listen. Some people may call it argy-bargy or whatever it may be. I guess there was a little too much hands-on, little bumping and rubbing out there on Saturday. And I think all the people were just so happy that the MooStang wasn't out there that they could have a chance to do something. So that might have been what was going on, because it wasn't us. I mean, we weren't, we only put a few laps out there on Saturday, just a couple. And then, so he was not happy. So basically from then on, they said, any contact, anything, you're sitting for an hour. There's no 2 strikes. Oh, good boy. No. Yeah. So that was Sunday morning, and we did good. We ran clean out there. Apparently, allegedly, one of my drivers that's older, he may have told me that they might have touched a smidge in the right rear quarter with some other driver, allegedly. And then they kind of looked at each other, were like, we're good, and just kept racing. But I can't really confirm that from the older driver that was out there on Sunday. Anyway, so my brother comes in, and it wasn't quite time to send the kid out. So then I went out. Heck yeah, got some laps. We did some super awesome racing out there. I caught up with this car, man. It was long, it was sleek, it was white.
Yeah.
I got behind this car and I was like, we are matched. Like, it was just one of those things where you find another car on track, and I just focused on that car. And I got up on him. I'm like, man, maybe I could do a little move on this guy. And I'm like, man, this car is really fast. It's like a European something, I think.
Right.
Really fast car. And so we were racing together for a while, all my stint, like 30, 40 minutes. People come up on me, I back off, let them through, get right back on this modern cruiser. And it was such a nice race, super awesome. Like right at the end of my stint, we lost each other. And then, it was so good, man. I want to get in touch with that guy later. It was super awesome. So then I come in for my stint, super clean, no problem. I didn't let any of the gas out that we didn't need to let out. We put a splash of gas in. Dave and I were doing some heavy calculations with some fuel management issues and things like that. And I think we put 5 gallons in, 6 gallons. I think 6 gallons was the number.
Yeah.
Because when you have all that horsepower, you can't go low on the gas. You really got to put it in there. Because that's where your horsepower comes from,
right,
from the gas tank. So we put another 6 gallons in, and that sucker ran. I think from my scouting report, I think my last driver of the day was going a little more conservatively than before. Possibly, but he rocked it. He ran the rest of the weekend, the rest of the day, and came in on checkers, man. And the car drove through checkers, and it drove up on the trailer. So
it was like a
triple double victory there. We came there with issues that we fixed. We fixed some of the issues that we made. We still had some issues to fix. We raced it. We broke it. We raced it again. We had so much fun. So I'm packing up. MooStang's on the trailer, double check. Super awesome drive to Matt. Thank you so much for bringing it out and bringing it back. Nice. And then the car comes up. There's like a Ford Bronco Blazer, some SUV, something other. Hey, this is Mustang. Yeah, who was out there from 230? And we're like, well, I don't know. Who were you driving? Oh, I was in the Saturn wagon. Oh, Unfriendlies. Oh, yeah, that was me. Oh, that was great. Gave the guy a big hug. Oh, man, we had so much fun. I was chasing that twin cam wagon. Oh, man, that was awesome. Super awesome. I could get him in the turns. I had a little more speed through the turns, but as soon as you come out of the turn, get on the gas, boy, that twin cam Saturn motor just pulled right away.
Oh, my gosh. No way.
Heck yeah. No, that guy was driving great. It was so much fun. Holy moly. I don't know who it was. I gave him a hug after. I'd like to talk to him later or whatever, but it was, we had such an awesome stint. I mean, it was 30 to 40 minutes easy of just like nose to tail. I was just right on him. I never went like probably the first lap behind him, I kind of looked like I was going to try to go by him. And I was like, no freaking way, man. This guy's going. Forget that. God. I'm just going to follow him. I'm doing fuel conservation mode. I'm just going to draft him. Heck yeah.
So,
it worked great. Yes, ma'am.
You did get in a crunch. How much legit damage did you do for the body?
Well, I You know,
Alan, what are we going to have to do?
just a little. It's not bad.
We're going to have two trucks. Gonna need two trucks and a ratchet.
Two trucks and a trailer, maybe. The driver's door technically wouldn't open when my driver brought it in after he smashed into the black Honda. We had to do a little adjusting of the fender gaps, because it's it's a classic car, of course. So we have everything nice and tidy and straight.
Why you ruin classic?
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna do a little extra reinforcement on the front end a bit there. And I literally just got one more gasket like yesterday, so we can finish resealing up the turbo and the gas tank and all that good stuff on the Mustang, so she can get put away nice for the winter.
That's good.
Heck yeah.
So looking back on the season, what are you thinking the winter projects are going to be for this car?
Well, I'm just finishing sealing up the gas tank for the first time this month, and with any luck, it'll be the last time we need it for the next 6 months to leak, and that'll be great. I'm gonna get the turbo back on. I've had a little trouble getting that sealed up. I think I'm gonna bring it to a shop to have them just weld the O2 bung in for me for the wideband. I was pretty happy that the exhaust stayed on. That's a super plus. That has not always been the case for that car. It's had some pretty long lasting baling wire in there to hold the exhaust system up. I say system, but it's like kind of just a couple, 3 janky pieces of metal put together.
It's a guide. A suggestion.
Yeah, it's fine. It does get the exhaust out, surprisingly. So I'm down with that. Yeah, so I'd gone through the car a bit before the race as best I could. Just getting as much of it gone through and replaced. Just kept hitting that Rock Auto parts list and picking stuff off. And yeah, that was super fun. I still have a couple parts. I think like the alternator and the external regulator I didn't actually put on, but I had them just in case. Because sometimes once you touch things and start taking them apart, you get that frozen broken bolt, and then everyone just cries.
No.
Yeah, it can happen. And so like on the turbo before the race, there's one profile gasket that was like slightly leaking. And I just looked at those bolts and I knew that there wasn't a big possibility of success. So we did the old, the muffler putty paste, the gray stuff that you kind of like brush it dry and get it wet and just kind of put this stuff on. And it totally sealed it, rocked on. So
wow,
that was kicking butt.
Captain's log supplemental.
So Miss Vicky.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when we were watching those WRL events and some of those grid life events where you used to see the in-car video and it had like the cameras seeing front and back, but it also could see all the telemetry and everything that was going on? Most of the ones that we liked were taken by the Sentinel system. Remember James came on our podcast earlier?
Right.
We have no excuse since he lent us one for trial and demonstration purposes. We should actually probably put that in one of our cars. Maybe 2.
I really think we should.
I think we should.
I know.
Because then we'd look like the immature endurance racing team that we are. Oh, wait, I mispronounced that, didn't I? Sorry, my bad. We could
so what does the Sentinel system do?
We could have 3 cameras with picture-in-picture. We could have, if we ever get the AIM system to work, open invitation to anybody from AIM to come on and give us a little bit of love. We need some help. And then we could have all our telemetry on there. And then we can have it streamed live into the paddock or around the world to our millions of fans. We're apparently very popular in Kenya right now. Don't know why, but that's fine. And it can integrate all the available race statistics from like Race Hero and everything. So we could actually see how we're doing on video. We wouldn't even have to carry around our phone anymore. Live.
I love it.
So as always, we go in hoping for 50%.
Yes.
And there was 116 cars.
116.
Yeah. How did we do?
I broke 100.
You did break 100 on the good side this time. It was 2 digits.
Yeah, yes, we have 2 digits, so that's strong improvements.
Strong improvement.
I honestly was a little going crazy over the weekend, as you may know, as a car owner.
Yeah, a little bit.
Car that doesn't always run. Yeah, and drivers don't stay on track.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like those freaking guys, like just get out there. I'm in a race car. Look at me. I can't imagine what kind of idiot would do that and turn on. Anyway,
well, how about this? The Monkey House El Jefe trophy truck
Yes.
came in at 97. Foreshadowing for the future review when Jeremy comes for real and it's not fake Jeremy.
Yes.
So if they came in 97 and there was 116 cars, carry the
87.
90.
I came in 90.
Yeah.
90 even?
90.
That's like an A-.
You
Of
just
what?
did your best.
What?
That's not how this works, Alan.
Well, you didn't.
A 90 does not. No.
They said there was a curve.
That's a big curve.
It's not
Huge.
That's not it.
Huge curve.
Maybe I need batteries in the calculator over there. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. You forgot to
but,
carry the suck.
Carry this.
Well, I mean, I have to say that 90 is. Wait, I had 100. How many cars? 100.
116. 116.
116. Oh man. All right, so that's better than like 20.
Well, since you only raced really one day.
Well, we kind of did, yeah.
So
So that's not too bad.
Not too bad.
And we didn't hit too many cars other than one black Honda.
The 3 black flags.
3. Well, 3 black flag. Yeah, I mean that's inadvertent. I don't think we. I think I might have to have a team meeting on that one.
It's a good plan. It's a good plan.
Drivers, and. Yeah, do you know anyone that has had any experience with that? With like some idiot drivers that keep hitting black flags?
I might know a guy.
Anybody like that? Just give my number.
All right, I'll see what I can do. I hear there's a podcast you can go on that'll give you some.
Oh
love.
Yeah,
nice. That's what I hear. All right, so good, bad, and the ugly on this weekend, sir.
The good, as I said already, was the weather. That's just a double bonus. The good was getting back to the racing crew and seeing everybody out there, getting to the racing and having fun with everybody. Unfortunately, I had a few more breakdowns than planned, so I didn't get to hang out with as many people as I would have liked. But that's part of the dance, isn't it? That's part of the fun. So I'd say the good was, everyone got out on track. We did pretty well. My kid didn't hit the car bad enough that we can't fix it and drive it again. And and I had a great racing style on Sunday. It was so much fun. Oh my God. I'm so glad that guy came over and said hi to me. It was super awesome that I was able to follow that twin cam Saturn so well until he got in the straights and he just pulled away with that twin cam power. The bad, I think, was, maybe me just not quite figuring out that there's more than one part supplier out there. And if they don't list the fuel tank vent, maybe I should just find it from somebody else,
It's an option. I mean,
maybe, that was a bummer. I think bad was, a little on-track contact is never good. A little off-track situation is never good. But, if that's the, and it looked terrible coming off track without the whole nose on it and the bumper hanging down.
Oh, no.
And I sent you some pictures there, like without
you did.
Thing, it just like, bleh.
Did you just hang your head? Just,
no, it was one of those things where I was like, hey, good, we're great, we're done. And then Ben was like, Dad, I don't want to get checkers. And I'm like, all right, well, yeah, I think that.
Well, it was like a half black, half white flag. So he figured he got all the black flags. So he wanted to get some white flag now.
Yeah. Oh man. And I think, the ugly, I don't know, I think the ugly was probably, if you're trying to drain gas out of a tank, you should have a clear hose.
Clear.
And a siphon.
Clear is good. Because
it takes like a week before your right ear feels right after that gas gets right up your nose and stuff. So that wasn't my favorite. So
clear is second to not soluble in gas. That's the second choice.
Yeah.
You don't want to hose.
I have
a
nice little transfer pump. I got 2 other pumps now. There's a whole bunch of other great ideas I have now. And I did end up using one of the tailback hoses because that was clear and I could see that.
Oh, there you go. Can't wait to drink from that.
Yeah, it's fine. I just put it right through the dishwasher. It's okay. We did try to do some pro moves. I just wanted you to know. We did try disconnecting the pressure pump under the car because we're safety minded, of course. And then we ran the in-tank pump, which is a low pressure pump. It just pumps a little bit too. But the thing is that if the car's not running, there's what they call a return line. So the return fuel to the tank, similar to the diesel systems where it cools, cleans, and deaerates, the return fuel could splash off of the in-tank pump and go right out that 3-inch hole next door where the filler neck was. It might even have enough velocity, I'm not trying to get into physics here, to shoot like 3 feet over into the next bay. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Maybe. So then you just turn the kill switch off after that. And then just let it drain, because we're not impatient. We're not heathens.
Or tell Glenn just to stop drinking the gas as it's spewing.
So much gas. So good, bad, the ugly. I think there was a Driftos next door, which is super cool. I did take a couple breaks and talk to them. I did see someone come up frantically to the fuel pumps at the end because, my garage bay, thanks Glenn, was right across from the fuel pumps. I could see all the goings on there, and my car was just running flawlessly all weekend. I had all that time to watch for 5 minutes. And I see the guy all frantic, he's trying to get his red jug there with the speeders. And I was like, hey, yeah, no chance, pal. Just because we're still racing, there's a half-hour racing left. There's no way that gas pump is still open. I was like, but I have some gas right here if you want it. He's like, is it a high test? I'm like, I run a turbo, man. I got horsepower.
It's not on your car, though. You just have a turbo.
I mean, it's mostly attached to the car.
Okay.
It's not really.
Okay.
I was so happy the exhaust was on. I had 2 hangers on the exhaust this time. Brand new studs for that downpipe. That turbo was still mounted by the exhaust, not by the engine. So I was able to hook this guy up with 5 gallons of fresh race gas because all that gas I drained out, I was convinced by my team not to put back in because we could just pump it over there and it was easier. And then we used it wherever. I don't know where the hell it went. But I did hook up this guy with 5 gallons of nice race gas. He had some LS turbo, something, who the heck knows, Drifto, hella flush guy. So I gave him some stickers. Hopefully, I don't know if we got some more listeners or not, but.
More listeners. Hello, more listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So how was
but otherwise, what's that?
No, go ahead.
No, otherwise, it was a super awesome weekend, man. I really went pretty hard getting the car as prepped as I could. I fell short on getting my tools and my stuff prepped. I went out and bought a little rolling tool cart dealio, and I just never ended up utilizing it because I was just jamming, getting the car set, last minute stuff, getting camper fixed, getting everything out there, and such and so forth. So my tool operation was definitely lacking. I did lean on Glenn a little bit. I used a jack stander 3 for, when you have your car up on 4 jack stands and then you still need 1 or 2 more for the gas tank you're taking out for the 3rd time. It's nice to have friends, with a jack or a jack stand to just help it from falling on top of you and crushing you with gasoline.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's just normal. It's no big deal. It's like, I could really see how the Ford engineers back in the 80s were really thinking safety when they put that gas tank in. I could just so feel it. The way I was able to take it out and back in, like, so easy.
They're Pinto trained, so they figured a Mustang's a bigger dog.
The grommet for the fuel filler neck, I've worked on some cars and this and that, whatever. This filler neck goes in below fuel level, like it's underwater, right? If you have 2/3 of a tank or more, this filler neck is underwater.
Should be literally under gas, but
yes, that's fine. Yes, that too. It's fine.
Okay.
But like the filler neck is like a maybe 2.5-inch pipe, and the hole for the grommet is like 1 inch. And they don't use like exact fitting to work. They're just like, we'll just make it real tight around there and it'll be just fine. And I guess it works. Like that grommet I did replace. I did have that one new, but the fuel pump and the vent, I have a new vent and a new vent gasket. So all that's going to get fixed up nice. When I take the tank down for the 37th time.
You're getting good at it.
So much fun.
Mm-hmm.
So how was the whole overall weekend, it being Halloween weekend?
It was good. There was definitely some good partying going on. There was lots of theming. The weather was super awesome. It did get a little colder as the sun set and it got a little into the evening, but nothing terrible at all. I can't say there was any precipitation. Like it was, again, coming from Thompson, which is just, I don't want to be bad. It's terrible. Thompson this year was just survival. And my car less than performed as I had hoped. So anything from there, like if like your perspective, like if you're coming from a big pile of success, then you're looking at success, big pile, steaming.
Big steaming pile of success.
Yeah. So that's where you're coming from. You had awesome weather. The car gets there and runs. Holy crap. You just had the one little issue that like you've kind of dealt with a bit before. we did have we did have one new issue when we went out on track.
Right.
And one of the things that I fixed at Thompson, and one of the things that I broke at Thompson, was to send my crankcase vent pressure back into the intake.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
a turbo
it's an
charged
option.
when a turbocharged car, once it's at boost, and the boost blows right by all your piston rings, all of them, and goes into your crankcase and pressurizes your crankcase and goes to that vent. And it's like, just let me out. I just need somewhere to go. And it sends it right back to the intake that has boost.
Right.
It shoots your dipstick out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And if you have so much horsepower, you can't even keep a hood with a solid covering on it because you're driving a Mustang. That oil will start splashing up on your windshield before you get off pit lane. And you
Wow.
hope it's just
It wants to see the racetrack.
you're just hoping it's a little splash of water from when you drained out the coolant and put water back in. You're just
Mhm.
hoping. A couple
So
off
much.
the fan, maybe a little bit, maybe the airflow through the radiator, maybe.
Mhm.
And then when you get the gas and it doesn't, a little bit more comes up, and it's a little smoky,
Mhm.
and then they black flag you in practice.
Mhm.
They said, get that piece of crap off the track. I mean,
Again.
please. Well, this was just the first time. This is practice day. Remember?
Practice day.
Practice day. This is back in time, back on Thursday. Practice day, first time out, 2 laps. Get that off the track. So then I just put it right back in the catch can. And those guys with the Ford Escort right next to us were super awesome, and they gave me some little cap to cap off a little hose dealio that they opened up, and then we had to degrease the windshield and the cowl and the whole engine area there. And then I'm like, what the F? Like, what could this be? Like, what's leaking oil over here? The only thing is the dipstick. There's no oil on that side of the car. There's many chances for oil leak on the other side where the turbo is. Nothing there. So then we're like, geez, is there a real problem? Or was it just because I was a jerk and I broke it the last time? And then we have to fix that problem because I was a jerk the last time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So then we cleaned it up, and then we sent someone out on practice, and it ran great, and it didn't give us any trouble, and it ran super awesome. And there was no smoke pouring out the tailpipe because we were burning so much oil from all that horsepower blown by our rings right into the.
If
On
you
the
give
plus
it,
side,
if
since
you
it
give
was
it,
fresh,
you're
from
giving
pellet,
it
looked so
momentum to leave.
So,
Oh,
were
man.
there any surprises at the event besides just, what was going on in your paddock?
I'd say next to my pack, the surprise was that the gas pumps were shutting off. Was a little alarming. That they, there's a drift throw event. Those guys are smoking tires left, right, and center, like outside in the parking lot. Like they're double lined up, like, and they're shutting the gas pumps off. What the? I think it was surprising that the weather was so nice.
Mhm.
That was super awesome. And I'm trying to think.
I heard that somebody ended up on their roof.
Yes, that did happen. Through the race weekend haze and huffing gasoline,
Uh,
as one does, time and time again. Friday night, Saturday morning. Anyway, there was somebody ended up on the roof, and since I wasn't 100% clear on that, I remember giving Ben the clear, like, yeah, our car is definitely broken, buddy. You can go check that out. Yeah, go ahead. So that would have been Saturday. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah,
oh,
maybe Saturday
gosh.
afternoon.
Or
Not
you come to
100% sure.
Jesus meeting, right?
Yes, that was, yeah. I know that they were okay. It was, as far as I know, nothing serious on that note, other than it's pretty serious when you roll your car over. But, it is what it is. I think it was a Volkswagen. I'm not sure though.
I think it
No
was.
idea.
Don't
Mhm.
remember. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yes,
So, Alan,
yes.
what did we learn this weekend?
What did we learn? Well, I came up with a really new idea that I don't know if you've had. I'm going to write it down right here on some paper
Okay.
right here.
Okay. All right.
It says, don't bring your broken, shitty race car to the track. Fix
Oh.
it at home.
Oh,
It says,
I've heard
wait,
that.
it says that right here.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I think, planning ahead is definitely a good idea. I had pretty much everything I needed. Could I had it better organized? Yeah, I definitely could have. I definitely learned that the in-tank pump is just an annual replacement on the fine Mustang.
Are you
to
sure
get saddle ready and all the whatever harnesses you do for a cow?
Are you sure the tank's not full of junk? Maybe.
It's so clean. I've been down there so many
Okay.
times. Oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay.
We're first name basis. The left
Oh my
side, the right
gosh.
side, the far area over there.
Okay.
Yeah, we Where? No, I assure you, it's that effing tank, because that was the thing. Like, it would run for a bit, and then after a half hour, it was like, I don't want to work anymore. And then it had every symptom of just not getting any gas.
Well, you found out why.
We found it, and I threw every single thing else at it. Our boy Yuri hooked me up. We got it closer at Thompson, but Thompson was just a survival. I was happy to make it out of there alive. Sorry, my boy Gary didn't get more seat time, or Dave, but did get some seat time, in other rides, so that was good. But yeah, coming off that race to come to this race with such awesome weather, to get the car to run, have some issues, crash the car, fix the car, still race the car with the gas leak, and then you make it to checkers. Like, that's a lot of wins, I think, and it's one of those things where, it definitely helped out having good friends there to help you with this, that, or whatever you need. Hey, can I get this? Can I get that? It did the usual running up and down the thing. Hey, I need this, I need that. The fuel line, the release for the whatever it was that I borrowed from the guy 3 things over, like,
wow.
it was a great weekend though. Yeah, I think I learned some maintenance stuff on cars. I learned just general team strategy stuff, like, hey, make sure you do as much as you can. I had been all through that car, so I had a lot of the pieces on off, so I was very familiar with the car. A lot of the stuff that we needed to touch, I had already touched, so everything was okay to come off and go back on again. Like when I go remount the turbo, 3 out of those 4 studs are brand new because I put them in. I try to replace as much hardware, as much rubber hose, as much of all the different stuff as I could. So it was in pretty good shape. So I think I did pretty well with that. But like I said, I fixed the problem that stopped us at Thompson, but then we still didn't fix the fuel leak from Thompson. And then we did send it out on Sunday. We might have stuffed a little bit of a rag up in there just to keep some of the extra horsepower contained, so that we didn't have to, show off so much, by leaking all over.
Well, what were some of the notable Saturday night costumes and things like that? Were you able to partake?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh,
we were there. We did join in with that, but I think I was still fixing up the car, and I was definitely pretty whooped. So I just forget. I definitely had some good conversations. Just wandering through the track. I did learn to, pace myself with working on the car. As Jen always taught us, like, all right, what's next? What are we doing? Keep going. And my brother stepped into that role. Super awesome. All right, if this was somebody else's car, what would you do to fix it? I'm like, all right, that works. Okay, let's see. And away we go. All of a sudden it was someone else's problem, and it was super easy to fix. But no, I think it was a super great weekend. I think I just come away with a little more knowledge of, I did learn a good bit about the car. As I've always said, you learn more when everything goes wrong. So I know a good bit about how the car can break and how it does work.
Yeah.
And I know a few more pathways to success with that thing. So she's got a couple more laps left in her, I think. I don't think we're quite ready to send her all the way out to pasture, but no, super good weekend.
You had to pull her apart this winter.
Oh yeah, we'll give her a good rub down.
The little once over. Touch up. I know. That sounds good. What do you think, Bill?
So what's the next time the Mustang's going to leave the stable
for racing?
I
think New Jersey next year is going to be. I think Pitt's a little too tough for me right now. I'm not sure I can swing that, but New Jersey definitely. I think we've got Kate's got her friend that wants to be a part of this crew, so some more. What's more camp queens, so they can help run that side of it. Paddock queen, yeah, and just general, camping queen. So, awesome. So that'll be awesome. And she lives local to Jersey too, so that's good.
Oh,
so yeah. So I think that's the next time she's gonna hit the track, in anger, as they say.
In anger, anger and girl power.
Heck yeah. But what I learned, I think just a little more prep as always. But I felt pretty good about the car prep side of it as far as that. And I just I didn't follow through enough on the car parts side of it to get all the parts in to get that what I needed. But and sure enough, when I ordered 2 of those vent gaskets, I'm like, oh, they're like $9 each. I'll just buy 2. It's fine. I learned from some guy that you just get a couple, And they sent me 1. I'm like, you dirty little rats. Like, could you just send me 2? Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm going to lose one. I could break one. Like, anything could happen. Oh, man.
especially
These
with
hands.
when they charge you for shipping.
Yeah, it was super awesome. Super awesome. But we do actually have everything lined up. Just yesterday, the last 2 exhaust turbo gaskets came. Those are going to be quite a few on hand for now on as our locking nuts for the exhaust.
Just in case.
Mhm.
Well, we found the weak spot.
Well, you know, they don't go bad. Just keep them in the toolbox.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can always-
It's always a work in progress, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Forever. Just when you
but
think
it-
you've
you know-
got it figured out, then
Yeah,
it
you
just
think,
doesn't
and
work
there's
out.
just a whole nother aspect that you didn't even realize was there, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. Okay, we can learn about this now too.
I didn't
But no,
realize
I
I
think
could break one of those.
Oh my gosh, who knew? We'll get some more paint for that. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Now, is your
Um,
garage heated on that end?
Over here, no. We work outside. We like the fresh air. We don't work inside.
Yeah, but it's
that's
winter.
He doesn't care.
Cool. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's like the diving things where they got the challenge, the difficulty levels or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't work as much outside in the cold. I do bring it inside if it's too cold or just I'm not working on it. Or
Yeah.
just use I have a couple friends' garages that are heated with lifts and stuff like that I can use. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we should have plenty of time to get that carpool back together again.
Heck yeah. Yeah, because I'm excited because I got one more thing I got to do here so I can pull it off the trailer so we can do what we got to do
Mhm.
and then get her going. Heck yeah.
It's
That
so
sounds
exciting.
awesome. Sounds awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the people did not get their wish. The Mustang lives and will be back.
Yeah, there was some sort of poll going on about how many times it was going to get towed in. And I was just so surprised. I was like, wow, I didn't even know. And then I looked over there and I was like, wait a minute. Wait, there's oh. And I looked down and there was a person that said 1.
Really?
I know. And I went over to her and I was like, hey, just so you know, my brother's in the car. And I could tell him to just keep driving because at this point, this was late on Sunday. We had not been towed in. We had used all of our excessive horsepower and speed, since it's a race car, to make it off track without having to get towed this time. And I said to Diane, I said, like, hey, I can just tell him to keep going. 1 tow in, it's all you. She wasn't down. She was like, no, it's got to be straight. I'm like, all right. So it drove in every time. I can't even.
I would have thought that the poll was the usual with the total of tows and black flags.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're that sophisticated with it. I don't know what I didn't see the parameters for the survey. Yeah, I don't know what.
You're always the last to know, man.
Yeah, right.
Even when they tell me, I'm still the last to know. They're like, "Did you see the email?" Like,
that sounds really hard.
Oh, that was me. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. But no, it was super good. We actually did have comms that worked in the car, so that was amazing. Super good. And yeah, and the car ran. I may even try to get a gas gauge out of that tank because technically it's a stock tank and there's a fuel level sender in there. So
it's got to be a hole for it. I mean, there's a hole for everything else.
Yeah. Oh no, it's already in there. There's a hole. The level sender's in there.
Oh, okay.
It's just that there's no gauge on the other end. So I just have to find some fine 84 Mustang that wants to give up parts for me. I'm sure there's plenty out there waiting.
Pretty sure that Fox Body didn't change the fuel.
Not much at all.
Mm-hmm.
Gauge.
Now there's generic senders I can get out there. We just haven't gotten that sophisticated yet. You know.
Well, when you can't fill it, why do you want to know how much is left, right?
Yeah, that was definitely an adventure.
When they said to just add lightness, they didn't mean don't fill it with gas. That wasn't the lightness they were talking about.
On the plus side of the tank, isn't that terrible to take down by yourself late on Friday night or early on a Saturday morning?
Or Sunday morning, even.
It's even or Sunday morning. Just whatever, just all day, every single day, except Thursday. It's great. No problem.
It's
no problem at all.
Once you get good at it, you should do it often.
Yes. But I did have I had a pressure pump waiting on hand. I had a fuel filter waiting on hand. I did not have a second in-tank pump waiting on hand. But I did have all the other parts waiting just in case any of the ones in there failed because I had all that time from the horrendous failure in Connecticut to just sit on rockauto.com and order more parts because it almost. honestly, it feels like I'm playing lottery and I win every time I find a place that has a part for the car. I don't know if it's an addiction or something.
I have some backups for Rock Auto as well, in case you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's pretty exciting. I even tried running two accessory drive belts for that alternator, and water pump. And then I realized that without the power steering pump there, it just rubs against the cover. So back to one belt. It's fine. No problem.
Oh,
no problem.
You don't want to have backup.
Heck yeah.
So, Alan, it sounds like you had a great time on Sunday. I'm not going to talk about the rest of the week.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I think Glenn actually said you're having too much fun, because I was like dancing over in the pits, because I was just like, listen, by 9:30 in the morning, I'd already won. Like they'd seen all the horsepower I had, and they called me off track because I was too fast. So I was, like, you're already winning. You know what I'm saying? That's how I saw it. Anyway.
That's so much not it. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
all right.
right in my coloring book right here, it says right here.
That's right. Okay.
Yep.
So, Mr. Danvers, job well done.
Thank you.
You beat the El Jefe trophy truck.
Because they shut it off, right? I mean,
they shut it all down.
Didn't really have a choice.
Well, they did the thing. They just flipped me, right? They ran all day Saturday, and Sunday, like, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys go.
Yeah, you two would have
parked in the trailer.
If you could have tag teamed it, you guys would have had a pretty decent week. Let's look that up. Let's see.
Something a little closer though.
So if
I don't know, like that Jeremy guy though. He like seems kind of wimpy, because I didn't actually see any flames coming out of that truck, and I know you've done that, right? So
I know.
I don't really know if he was driving it. Like, I mean, I don't know who else he had over there. What kind of wimps they were driving that thing? But,
I don't know. They just don't do it right.
It seems like they should have just been driving it. Like, just saying, it's not that hot out.
So you guys would have been. You still wouldn't have made the top 50% if you add them both up.
If I ran both days.
No, his Saturday and your Sunday.
Enough laps, yeah.
Not enough laps. It's still not enough.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
So I was trying to make it so you didn't suck so much, but you did.
Yeah. No, I suck really bad. I mean, there's a lot of, and there's so many curves you can try to throw at it, but there's so much sucking. Right.
So Alan, I just want to make sure you know this, right?
Yes.
A turbo is supposed to blow, not suck.
Yeah, I guess I didn't get that email. I think
I know.
I'm gonna check the spam folder.
Well, you don't read them anyway. You just get them.
You're right. I don't
Right.
read them. Oh man, that was right in the Google Doc. Hi, crap. No, I don't read them. Sorry, yeah. I don't. No.
I do like when you send me an email saying, "Hey, where's the latest update?" And I'm like, you don't ever read them.
Oh yeah. Well,
but hey, it's fine.
I'm trying to grow. See, you recognize
there you go. Right.
Growth. See, you're like,
all right.
What the fuck are you doing? Like,
all right. So Bennett got one black flag every 6 laps.
Yes. Just on one day though. On the other day he didn't. The other day he did great.
So he concentrated.
He got checkered flag. Okay. He got checkered flag. So does that erase him off when he does the checkered flag? I don't know.
No.
It's not how that works.
No.
Right,
no.
That's not how that works.
I don't think Mr. Rude would say that's his goal.
That's not how that works. No.
Right.
I must say again, 2 points to Mr. Rude. He was so gracious when we came in with no front end at all, and he said, "I'm sorry you're having such a crummy day. Just go fix your car and go back racing." We're like, "Wow, we're gonna leave now. Benny, go quick, get out of here. Go. Don't stay. Nice, go. Just go. Get out of here. Quick.
He must have us confused with something's
wrong.
Mustang painted like a cow.
He's been huffing the gas or something. I don't know. Something's wrong with him.
Exactly.
But no, it was super good. I think that my blushing bride mentioned something about HPEs for my son.
That's a plan. I like that plan.
That's a very good plan.
Because he sucks at turn 1 like me and his brother. But yeah, I think that's why. Either way. Okay. So that sounds like some definite fun. Right. But yeah, I think the Mustang's gonna run some more, man. She still has some life left in her. I got,
I see. I hear what you're saying. I'm shocked, but I hear it.
I am shocked as well. And it was, and I literally pulled my hair out for probably an extra 4 hours before I left, because I couldn't find the brackets I needed to put the seat in. The driver's seat. The driver where the driver sits. The driver's seat.
That's kind of
important.
I
didn't have that, and it turns out I was in the camper the whole time.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, okay.
So I spent like all this time freaking out, fabricating a whole nother setup, right, on Tuesday and Wednesday, because the car was out to Matt's place and Ryan's place, Wednesday. And then I go to pack up Wednesday night after I drop it off. I'm like, oh, there's the brackets right there. I'm like,
Wow.
so again, it was a win, right? You get there, and then it took us like 20 minutes, and it was perfect, and I can adjust it, and everything's great. So,
yeah, of course.
Wow.
yeah,
Piece of cake.
Again, from you start with that big pile of mountain, the big mound. You know that one?
Big
bumpy
Big
mound.
lump. Steaming.
Yeah, that one.
Yes. Yep.
When you
Gotcha.
stand atop that mountain, and you really look up, and you're like, wow, there's so much more I could be better at.
So much to survey.
So much crappiness all around me. Look at this. Crappy over here. Crappy over there.
I feel like I'm standing on a bunch of it. Family had fun though.
So much fun. Yeah. Super awesome. As always, Kate packed like way too much food.
Perfect.
Which is great. Yeah. So all the stuff went like awesome at the potluck. So that was great. Helped clean up, got all that stuff done. Yeah, my brother had a great time. My niece was there. She went, I think maybe as a party trip, because she had some college buddies up there in New Hampshire. So she disappeared like Saturday at 4, came back Sunday. Either way, it was super fun. Yeah, my dad had fun on track. My brother had fun. The weather was great. Like, yeah, I think, again, it would have been super awesome to have the car run flawlessly all weekend. Yeah. But on the other hand, it's fun to have the stuff break and have stuff go crazy a little bit, I guess. And just figure out to get through it, because then you're more comfortable with the chaos and the craziness next time, when it happens the next time. It happens. Anyway, like that.
I see. Sounds fantastic.
Yes.
Mr. Danvers, job well done.
Yes.
You did great.
Very job well done. That's always
Thank you.
the one race that you had. It's kind of like tradition for you guys to go up to that one.
Yeah, it's super fun. Yeah, my brother definitely enjoys it. We did the farmer skits, costumes, stuff like that again, which is, easy to work with. And it's just for us, it's a great family weekend to end the week this summer, if you will. My dad and stepmom get back to ski instructing over the winter.
Oh,
So
I didn't know they did that.
Heck yeah. So, yes, that keeps him busy all winter long. So we don't get to see him much. So it's awesome to get to see him at the racetrack. So
Wow.
That's what we do. And thank you to you two for kicking butt and supporting me so much with all this crazy racing stuff. Because, it was all those garage hairs and training gas cans I was filling and pouring back in and filling again and pouring back in, from all that
You
good stuff.
were making sure that the gasoline was thoroughly mixed.
That's right.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah, super good weekend. Great racing with friends as always. And it worked out good. No one got hurt at the racetrack that we know of. And, cars made it home.
Excellent. Sounds like a job well done.
Heck yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you for the report. We will get Jeremy for real next time. I didn't feel like making fun of him because he's so sick.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. This time.
Next time, fake Jeremy's coming out, and I've got a voice ready for him.
Oh, baby.
Mhm.
That's right. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.